Hello everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, and I am here with an unboxing. So I have prepaid for 3 of these Tamed Wild boxes. I actually signed up for a subscription called House of Rituals, which they have since retired. So I had actually prepaid for 3 months of House of Rituals, but in the meantime, this company has consolidated. They do have a box called Wild Crystals, which you can subscribe to, which is all crystals. I believe there's a couple other small things that come in there too. And they had one called Wild Medicine and one called House of Rituals. And I believe the Tamed Wild box, look at this beautiful box by the way, I do believe that this one is a combination of the 2 boxes. And they've lowered the price a little bit. So what they've done is, for anybody who was already a subscriber who had prepaid for any boxes, is they did say that they would be, in the announcement email, they did say that they would be putting in 1 or 2 other little items in here to sort of bring the value up. So this box may not be representative fully of the new Tamed Wild box, because there may be 1 or 2 other little items in here, but it should give you kind of a good idea. I did find this box to be a pretty decent value. I think that this will be my second of 3 boxes. So I'll have 1 more coming for next month. And I believe this box is supposed to have the goodies in it that are usable for the next Sabbath. But I don't know how they've changed the box. There might not be a ritual in here at all. To be honest, I was actually kind of a little disappointed that they have combined the Wild Medicine and the House of Rituals box, because the House of Rituals is the one I got really excited about, because that's all the things you need for a ritual all in one box, which I thought was really cool. And I'm not so big on the Wild Medicine, mostly because I'm fairly limited in my use of herbs. I do use them quite a bit, but I don't like to acquire too much stuff I can't use up. But that being said, let's dig into it, because I have no idea what to expect, so we will see, plus its presence. If you want to subscribe to this box, I'll put the information in the description box down below. This is the November box, and the website is shoptamedwild.com. So I'm going to open this up. It's like literally bulging. It's like so full, which is kind of exciting. And hopefully it's not taped. These do come in like an outer like poly privacy wrapping, so that's good. And I didn't have any duties on this one. I think I did on the last one, but I can't remember. You can check my October unboxing because I'll have mentioned it, but there was definitely no duties with this one. I'm in Canada, for those of you that don't know. So this is kind of interesting. So let's just see what's in here. So the first thing, so when I open it up, I should show you what it looks like. When I open it up, there's something sitting right on top. So that's what I'm looking at now. And there is a booklet. Now these boxes, the House of Rituals ones, have seemed to come with some kind of little booklet that they've done themselves. So for October, it was a Ghosts and Spirits booklet, which I read all the way through. It was really kind of interesting. It's very digestible, but there's usually quite a bit of information. And this month we have a Wild Recipes for a Medicinal and Magical Kitchen, which is kind of fun. Mine has a little scuff on it, but that's all right. So this looks like it's going to be about sort of kitchen witchery. So there's definitely some there's some recipes in here. Sorry, I thought I saw something. Yeah, so there's hummus, there's an herbs de Provence quick bread, butternut squash soup, vanilla rooibos tea cookies. So there's definitely some fun things in here. As any of you who know me really well will know, I am totally not the cook in my family. That is Peggy and Steve. They do all the cooking. I sit on my butt and don't cook because I'm not a huge fan and I tend to overthink things. Oh, but I am kind of excited. There are a bunch of tea. Ooh, there's a bunch of tea and beverage recipes in here. Now that's something I can do myself, which is actually kind of neat. And I spotted as I was scrolling through. It's like it's the internet, but it's a book. What has technology done that I'm reading a book and say scrolling through? Oh, I'm kind of sad about that right now. Anyways, as I was flipping through, I found this recipe just now for golden milk. That has my full attention because that's something I've been really, really, really wanting to try. It's supposed to be really soothing and good for you, especially through the winter time. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. I don't know what Carmelite water is. There's some things with alcohol in here. That is going to be really fun for me to flip through, so I'm definitely going to be doing that. Also in here, fun, is a 2019 moon calendar in this awesome spiral design. How cool is that? Does it have the dates? No, I think it just shows all the moon phases, but there's no dates. I don't know if you can call it a moon calendar, but it's definitely all the moon phases of 2019, probably from the first to the last day. So there's probably 365 little moons in here, which is really cool and pretty. And I'm tempted to somehow incorporate that into my planner for next year, but we'll see if I can. It does have some moon stuff in it already. So, Tamed Wild Box, it says. So I've got a list of all the stuff that are going to be in here. I'm going to try not to look at that because spoilers make me crazy. And Winter Equinox is the sheet that I have here, which talks about the upcoming Winter Equinox, Yule. There is a ritual, which makes me really happy. So there is still going to be some ritual stuff in here. There is a full ritual on this page, which I can do, which is super exciting. It was actually, I believe, no. It was the ancestor ritual from a different subscription box that I did in October, but I did do the ritual that these guys included, which was a divination ritual for Samhain. I did do that during my Samhain ritual. It was really nice. So now I get to get into the goodies. So I'm just going to like fold open these papers and then I'm going to show you holy, this is very, very packed full of stuff. Like very packed full, which is exciting. So I'm just going to start pulling stuff out and showing it to you. So the first thing I have here is a cinnamon stick. This is cool. I got some cinnamon bark in another box, so this is a full piece. I'm assuming that's going to be incorporated into a ritual. I will read about the ritual once I've pulled everything out. I also have a little bit of ginger root. Now, if I remember correctly, the thing with this box is that the amounts of herbs you get in any particular pouch tend to be kind of small, but I think the idea is to use them up in the ritual, not to have a whole big, like, pile. Cardamom. This is one of my favorite flavors ever. In fact, Starbucks in Canada had a cardamom latte for the fall that was delicious. I could not get enough of it, and now it seems to be gone already for winter, which makes me so sad. There is I see where we're going with this. There is a black tea bag. I have a feeling we're going to be making some chai because these are chai spices. Clove, and I've made chai from scratch, and in fact it is one of my very favorite things because if you really cook it for a long time, you get it simmering on the stove. And what I like to do, we learned from a friend of our son's actually, how to make really good chai, is we get all the spices, we get them in a pot with some water, we boil it for like a really long time, like we really steep the heck out of it, and we even reduce. So if we start with a pot that's like 2/3 full, we reduce it by half, so down to about 1/3 full. And then at the very end, when all the spices, sorry, there's peppercorn too, when all the spices have been broken down, or not broken down, but like really, really steeped, the whole house smells like chai, which is amazing. At the very end, we will put in the tea bags to steep for a few minutes, and then at the very end, we put in some milk, bring it all up to a simmer, boil, whatever, and then strain it all out into a pot over a tea light. Like I have one of those pots, it's got a tea light warmer built in. And then we sip it out of small cups, and it's amazing. So I feel like that's where this is going. That was a very long-winded way to say that that's where I think this is going. So I've also got in here a tin. I think it's empty. Totally empty. Mine's got a dent in it. I probably can pop that out, actually. I'm going to pop it out on camera because this is what we do in real life, folks. We pop out the dents in our tins. There, it's mostly popped out. It's fine. It's got a really pretty design on the front. So I'll be interested to see. Maybe we're making a chai tea mix. It's like a tea tin. I'm curious about the tin, for sure. Okay, alright. I'm not mad about this. Then I have in here, this looks like the bowl. This is beautiful. This looks like the bowl to a mortar and pestle. So I'm guessing, aha! And this looks like okay. If you know the answer to this question, comment down below. Which one is the mortar and which one is the pestle? I'm guessing this is the pestle and this is the mortar. This is the mortar and this. I know what these two things are together, and I love these. I actually have quite a large one that I use, but this is a really nice one and probably a much better size for most of the things I use a mortar and pestle for. Mine's actually a little bit big. That's actually really beautiful and will look so sharp on my little herb shelf down there on the bottom shelf you see behind me. Put this somewhere where it's not going to tip over. There we go. Then I have a votive candle. I kind of like where this is going. And a votive candle holder. It's like a pretty orange color. This feels very fall to me, I will say, so far. But we will see, we will see. Okay. crystal time. I love that they always include a crystal in this box. It makes me really excited. Let us see. It says agate. Oh, these feel like they're rough agate, which is interesting. I think I've only ever had polished agate. It's like tied closed and I'm totally fighting with it. Okay, there's 2 pieces in here. These are nice. So this is the first agate. It's got this kind of gray tone to it. Definitely rough. And then this agate has like this coffee kind of brown color to it. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. Very pretty. And I don't think I have any rough, I don't have rough, for sure I don't have any rough agate, and I don't know if I have any agate in my, no, I have to have some agate. I'll have to dig into my crystal collection later and see. I do like that they come in labeled bags because I have a box, like a really nice carved wooden box that I keep my crystal collection in, and this keeps things from knocking against each other, plus it's labeled. I try to keep my like a Google Photos album up with my pictures of my crystals, and they're all labeled what they are in case I ever forget or lose track. But labeled bags is super awesome. So that goes into my crystal box. There's a couple more things in here. So I have a stack of paper. I think these are papers. These seem to be papers. Like parchments, blank parchments. That kind of goes well with some other goodies I've gotten recently. Okay. Okay, 2 things left. There is what looks to be an oil. Let's see what's in here. Winter Equinox Temple Oil. It contains sweet almond, peppermint, eucalyptus, jasmine. So it's in a sweet almond base, but it's peppermint, eucalyptus, jasmine. Oh, I'm excited to smell this. Eucalyptus, I put in my diffuser. I have an aromatherapy diffuser, one of the steamy ones, cold steam ones, that I turn on at night when I sleep. And I always put lavender and eucalyptus in that one. Sometimes other blends, I'll drip some of whatever oil I'm working with in there, but I really like eucalyptus. And jasmine is one of my favorite smells of all time. Oh, I keep wanting to like instinctively like hold the bottle up so you can smell it. It's a nice size bottle, and it does have a dropper in it, which is really nice. Yeah, that smells really good. Okay, I'm super curious. Oh, there's one more thing. I was going to say I'm super curious about the ritual, which I totally am. But there's one more thing in a little box. And then I will tell you how it's all supposed to go together. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, there's a little silver chain, which I'm probably going to have to swap out for cord because I am super allergic to basically every metal ever. But inside, see if I can hold this up and not drop it, is a tiger's eye. Nope, I'm going to have to hold it up. Ah. It's a tiger's eye moon charm. How sweet is that? That's really cute. So I'll probably have to put that on like a leather cord or a satin cord of some kind. Okay, now I need to like really seriously dig in and see what the deal is with all of this stuff. So, first my spoiler page. Okay, November 2018, Wild Kitchen, Winter Equinox, and Yule. So, magical and medicinal cookbook. So that's this item here. Whether you're an expert or a novice in the kitchen, this book of wild recipes invites everyone to summon their inner kitchen witch. We've included our favorite herbed bread and cocktails for hosting festive gatherings, but also added nourishing roots, soups, and teas for the quiet nights at home. All right, good with that. Mortar and pestle. This is stunning. This is my favorite thing from the box for sure so far. I say so far, I've opened everything, but like, this is cool. And it's a perfect size for altar work, for like doing up little incenses, just enough to use for what you need that spell or that ritual. Okay, so, oh, I should hold it up. The mortar and pestle have been used for generations to grind leaves, flowers, and roots for cooking and preparing plant medicine. When developing your own wild recipes, grind any whole herbs with this tool to enhance the flavors and the medicinal properties of each plant. Okay. Next we have a Wassail Cider Kit. Use these mulling spices, I said spaces. So all these little spices. So we've got clove, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, peppercorn, and of course black tea. So it says use them to create a wassail, the brewed drink that celebrates Yule, good health, and prosperity for the year ahead. Yule takes place between December 21st and January 1st, and is celebrated with late nights filled with ritual feasts and warm stories. With the cider kit included, you have the choice to brew spiced tea, cider, or wine for your wassail. For a full list of ingredients and instructions on how to make a spiced cider, refer to the Magical Medicinal Cookbook. Okay, so I'm super curious what it says about spiced cider. And I'm just going to bring you guys along with me because that's what I do. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I want to know. Okay, we're into drinks. Spiced tea, cider, or wine wassail. So spiced wine too is an option. 1 to 2 cinnamon sticks, 4 cardamom pods, a 2-inch piece of ginger, 3 whole cloves, 10 peppercorns. And you want to brew those in with either a bottle of red wine, 1 to 2 teaspoons of black tea, or a bottle of apple juice. So, and then there's also some optional ingredients of lemon peel, orange peel, apple peel, and a tablespoon of maple syrup, which, as you know, maple syrup will not be hard to get for me here in Canada. That was fun to say. Anyways, so it's basically you can make a tea, which I would totally use these exact same spices for chai, so I might make a pot of chai. But you could also make a spiced cider, a spiced wine. I mean, I'll admit it's kind of tempting to mull some wine with these spices. And I'm pretty sure there's enough here to spice a bottle of wine. It might be a little weak, but I think I've got more cardamom in my cupboard because it is my favorite. And this is nice because they're not already in their cardamom pods. They've been kind of smushed out. When you get cardamom, a lot of times they're in like a green pod, and you have to kind of break the pods open or you don't get as much flavor, and that's because these little bits are inside. So that's really cool. Okay, moving along. Intention paper. So this stack of parchment consists of 27 pages to track your intentions throughout the next year. There's 1 page for every dark moon, every full moon, 1 for the day you come to this earth. Oh, birthday. And let's see. 1 last page that you will use to design your future. That last piece of parchment is especially important, for you will express your loftiest goals and project your ideal reality onto this page. Over the course of the next year, that would be a really long day. Over the course of the next year, and in unison with the phases of the moon, we'll use these pages to manifest visions and release energetic anchors. You'll track your dreams, goals, visions, secrets, and questions. With the words you choose, intentions are set and energy is put into motion. Keep each parchment in your journal or make a vision board that enhances your words. It is our wish that these pages help you stay true to your path while recording the journey. Solid. This is a really nice feeling, like soft, cottony, almost parchment. Like, I don't know if you felt like really soft, like handmade papers, but it feels like that. So it's got a really special feel to it. I think I have a different idea for these, which I'll tell you in a moment. Ritual candle. So this candle represents the sun. Its light represents the god and his omnipresence even when unseen. Light this candle during a ritual to draw in masculine energy and movement. So the color makes sense for that. When feeling sluggish, light this candle to stimulate the mind, motivate the body, and activate the 2nd and 3rd chakra, which are our orange and yellow chakras here, in the sacral and the solar plexus area. I think it just said that, but focus on the flame while you summon vitality, adaptability, and good health for yourself and all those who cross your path. So that's kind of cute. Alrighty. Equinox oil, which I've already put somewhere in. Oh, there it is, in here. Okay, Equinox oil. Mint and eucalyptus oils were historically used in aromatherapy to treat headaches, nausea, and respiratory afflictions. Generations ago, Greek royalty used fresh mint as a non-toxic cleaner and also in herbal baths to stimulate the body and spirit. Today, mint has found its way into many kitchens thanks to its ability to prevent and treat stomach upsets when ingested. It goes on about mint. It goes on about eucalyptus. Does it talk about the jasmine in here? No. Oh, I wish I would have put a little bit in here about the jasmine. But it does say, both eucalyptus and mint are air elements, although in our magical cookbook we have elected to focus on the fire and water associations of mint. As with all air elements, these plants have influence over a person's mind, creativity, and psychic ability. Wear solstice oil on your pulse points and allow it to purify self and spirit. I just like that it's a winter equinox sort of themed oil, and so that will be fun to use throughout December. Tiger's Eye necklace. So Tiger's Eye is a stone of courage, joy, and strength. This crystal is a high vibrational earth and fire element and powerful partner to both the 1st and 3rd chakra. This necklace can be worn to amplify, and that's the root chakra, so sort of your grounding, your sense of stability in earth definitely is where that hangs out. And the 3rd chakra again comes back to sort of solar plexus. This necklace can be worn to amplify your aura before manifestation and to ground the spirit after meditation. A tiger's eye stone in the shape of the moon encourages a balance of masculine and feminine because, of course, tiger's eye is a fairly masculine stone. You put it in that feminine moon symbol. I like it. It enhances psychic ability with practical perception. And then the moon calendar, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay. And then our little moon calendar, it says, use this travel size calendar to plan, play, and live by the moon. Before you fill a piece of parchment with plans of intent, look to this moon calendar first. See if the lunar goddess is waxing or waning, resting or peaking. A simple suggestion is that if the moon is growing, you should be too. If it is shrinking, follow her lead and release anything that does not support you along your path. I do have to say that I did get a moon calendar in a different box. This one is beautiful. I love the design of it, but it's not, to me, very usable. I can't very easily, like, figure out which day is which. You'd literally have to go in with a marker and mark them because it's just the moon symbols. And I'm sure it goes along with the year, but unless you're somehow crossing them off every single day, you're not going to know what phase we're in. And that might be one way to use it, is literally to take a black Sharpie, but it's a glossy paper. So without a Sharpie specifically, ink isn't going to really go onto this very well. So I'm a little bit limited in how I can use this, but I do love the design, and I might cut this out and glue it into my planner for 2019. We shall see. They also provided a ritual, and they talk about making your cider, using your writing utensils, and I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's quite long, but I'm just kind of scanning to see. So I will say that this is a cool box. I feel like it comes with a lot of interesting things. Value, I feel like, is not here for me in this particular box. I love it. I think this is probably where most of the value is going, the little mortar and pestle, and this is beautiful, and I will definitely use this and enjoy this. I do feel like a lot of the other items feel a little bit underwhelming. They don't really say, I don't think, even what this tin is for, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, there's no reference to the tin, except that I'm guessing you could just take all yours so that you maybe don't get them mixed up with your other herbs. If I can get it back open again, you can probably tuck all your wassail herbs, which I'm going to do so I don't lose track of them. So that's probably what the purpose was, is to tuck them all into this tin. I can probably use this tin for some other teas or spices that I have, so that's fine. I don't feel like there's a lot of value necessarily in this. The oil is nice. It doesn't smell particularly strong, but it does have a really nice scent to it. So there's definitely a good amount of essential oils in there, but it is probably a lot of base oil as well. And the parchment is blank parchment, but I will say that this is so timely because, as some of you know from another unboxing that I've done, I'm definitely going to be doing some sigil magic, and these are just the right size to make sigils. So maybe what I will do is combine the idea from this box with my work in sigil magic next year and make sigils for each, maybe full moon or new moon, based on my intentions or what I'm working on at the time. So it's nice to have some parchments pre-cut into like a perfect sigil size and ready to go. And maybe what I could do is do a sigil on one side, and depending on the ink, if it bleeds through, I could do writing some thoughts on the other and hold that intention for that moon cycle, and then perhaps burn the old one and charge a new one or something like that. So I'm kind of forming some ideas about how I could use that. Let's see, what else in here that I can speak to? The agate is nice. I like crystals. I think partly I came into this unboxing a little prepared to not be as excited, because they were definitely taking a move away from House of Rituals. While they did still include a ritual, this does feel a little bit more like a mix of stuff and less like a cohesive ritual, which really was what I signed up initially for. So it's definitely in here. I think this is a good box, and if I were in the US, I'd be inclined to maybe see this one through a little bit longer to see how it shapes up. But for now, I think I'm good with it. Like, I'm happy, and I'm going to find ways to use all of this stuff. But if I were picking right now, this one would not be jumping to the top of my list. So I hope that's not too negative. Like, I still really like stuff. I think of everything. I know I've mentioned this before. I'm really excited about this. The other mortar pestle that I have is probably like this big around, and it's marble and pretty heavy. And most of the time, I'm only grinding up a very small amount. This is also going to work really, really nicely with the inks that I got in my other box, that I can maybe grind up some herb just a little teeny bit, enough for a pinch, to put into some inks for some charged work. So I think for sure this stuff will all get some really good use. I think I have everything here. I'm just going to show you at the end what sort of everything looked like. Loaded it all back into the box. Oh, if it doesn't all fall out on me. And that's what we're looking at there. Oh, tip. There we go. So this is the Tamed Wild box, and this might be right up your alley. I will say that if you are into crystals, I've really thought about this box before. They do a beautiful crystal subscription where you get a selection of crystals. I think there's like one primary, like big crystal. I'm holding my hands, but I don't know the real size. But they ship you one big crystal and then I think a couple smaller crystals as well. That one is called Wild Crystals and is definitely worth checking out. This one, they might still be settling in, right? So they've just combined their Wild Medicine, which is an herbal focused box, with House of Rituals, and they're probably still trying to find that like sweet spot where that box is going to hang out and what it's going to look like and what kind of things are going to go over well and all that kind of thing. So definitely keep an eye on it. There will be one more unboxing from me in December, probably near the very, very, very end of the month. This one I just got and it's nearly the end of November, so I don't know when this video is going to go up. I still have to take a look at it and edit it and stuff if it needs it, but the next box will come probably right at the end of next month. And then I will have like a cohesive idea of like what I thought of each of the 3 months, like which is my favorite and like whether I like the new Tamed Wild box or not and sort of that. But this is kind of a medium excitement level box for me. But I am going to definitely dig in and make sure all this stuff gets some good use. I am kind of pleased about this just because I don't really have a real god representative on my altar right now. So that'll go nicely next to my little goddess statue that lives on my altar. And I will use it that way. Anyway, I'm totally babbling, and I'm going to sign off for now. I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!